Hey Magic Makers, this is where I usually say Lorelei here, but as you can see, I recently changed my name on my channel to Afayawin. There is a reason for that. So Lorelei was fine. There was nothing wrong with that name. However, with a few different things that have recently come about in my personal life, Afayawin seemed like a better name, and I'll explain why. So this video is going to be about my name change and also my matron goddess. They are connected, I promise. So let's get to it. So when I first started down this path and started practicing witchcraft, I did some digging and some thinking and some meditating and some praying about what my magical name should be. And I remember hearing all the time that your magical name should be secret and that no one should know what it is except for you. It's like a name between you and your deity or you and the universe, and that's it. Well, then I came on YouTube and saw that a bunch of people, of course, were using their magical name or a magical name online, kind of to keep from putting their real name out there and all that kind of stuff, you know, safety, security, all that stuff. And anyway, I came up with the name Afayawin. It's actually off of a deity, a goddess, Afaya, and I actually asked permission. I did a meditation where I asked for permission to use the name and felt like I received a positive answer, and I started using it. And I made the mistake of telling someone who I thought was a friend what my magical name was, because they also said, you know, all these places said, well, only share it with people you fully trust. And so I thought I trusted her, and I told her my magical name, and she laughed in my face. And so I kind of thought about, maybe I won't use that. Is it really that stupid? Like, is it that dumb? Maybe if it is, I should not use it. So I started getting all self-conscious about my name. Anyway, so I've gone through a couple of different just, you know, online names or whatever. But recently, I started to feel the call of a goddess that I had very lightly looked into at the beginning of my path that I hadn't really actually ever done anything with. And that kind of brought me back to my original magical name. And so I decided to start using that again because, well, first of all, the girl that laughed in my face about my name, we're no longer friends. She's not in my life anymore. And so, like, who the heck cares? So I'm just going with that. And if you think it's funny or if you think it's stupid, then fuck you, I don't care. So let's get into the goddess that I'm following now. So I actually planned to do a video about my matron and patron deities that I had chosen. There's a key word there, I had chosen. And before I could actually get that video done and out, every time I tried to venerate the goddess that I had chosen, venerate, pray to, worship, any of those things, anytime I tried to work with her, this other goddess, Brigid, kept coming into my head and like interrupting me, changing things, and like just kind of like being in my space. And so I eventually got the hint, and I was like, okay, so I guess I should be going after Brigid and not this other goddess. And so since then I have done some research into Brigid, and it's so interesting how much she fits what I need. It's funny because I also started seeing a bunch of sixes everywhere. Okay, so I'm into numerology a little bit, and so I started looking up like what are the sixes, because at first, you know, of course, coming from Christianity, I would see 666 and I'd be like, the number of the beast, like, but that's not really what it means, right? I mean, that was like the Christianized version of numerology. So I actually looked up the original numerology for 666, and 666 is a goddess number. So I'm like, oh. So when I looked it up, it was basically, the message is basically to trust in the goddess, like follow what the goddess is telling you. And so then, of course, that coupled with every time I, tried to venerate this other goddess, I would get Brigid coming in. I was like, okay, I guess I should trust Brigid because she definitely wants me to hang out with her. And what else is funny is I just recently watched this video by She Who Walks Between Worlds, and she was talking about this, the whole choosing your deity versus the deity choosing you and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I never would have thought that a deity would choose me, but I can't really deny that, like, I didn't choose Brigid. Brigid came after me. And so that's really all I can go on. One of the other things that I found out about Brigid that I kind of already knew, but that I thought was really interesting, is I have never quite banished my Christian faith. I wouldn't go as far as to call myself a Christian witch. I don't call myself Christian at all anymore. However, I do keep reverence for the Christian faith. I believe that there's nothing wrong with the faith. It's the people that we have a problem with. And I think it's very interesting that Brigid is one of those goddesses that survived Christianity. I mean, Brigid went from being a goddess to a saint. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know, like a demotion or whatever, but she didn't just die out. You know what I'm saying? Like, she adapted with the times. And she's still present in Ireland. She's still present in our lives. And she's still going strong. I mean, people still venerate her as a saint, but as a goddess as well. And they've kind of merged the two with their stories and stuff. I thought it was very interesting that Afaoin is a more Gaelic name anyway. So I'm going back to using Afaoin, and Brigid is now my matron goddess. I think that's all for this one. Bye, guys.